This was Justin Bieber at Coachella in April 2025, looking like a zombie. The videos have had a lot of people worried about his mental and physical health, and not for the first time. Before that, there was this. It led fans to comment things like, "I pray he heals," and "He is not okay and it's so obvious." I really hope he doesn't have a bunch of yes people in his corner and instead help him. Over the past year, he's burned bridges with his team, launched a clothing brand by literally setting his old one on fire, and gone silent on the people who built him. Scooter Braun? Unfollowed. The best man at his wedding? Gone. And behind it all, there's financial stress, creepy childhood memories, and a tight circle some say is more cult than support system. So is this the inevitable decline of someone who became famous at 13 years old? I know that if I hit it big time when I was just a teenager and had the world at my fingertips, I probably would have done some crazy, not so healthy things. Or is this all just a blip in the career trajectory of one of the biggest stars in pop music in the 21st century? Let's figure it out. If you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with the rise of Justin Bieber. But let's just quickly recap. At 13, Justin Bieber was uploading homemade R&B covers to YouTube from a small town in Ontario. Scooter Braun stumbled on one of those videos, flew him to Atlanta, and signed him within weeks. Bieber moved fast. Usher backed him. Island Records launched him. Baby went #1 in over a dozen countries. He became the face of tween pop, selling out arenas and launching perfume lines before he turned 17. And this is where we need to focus on who Bieber was surrounded by in those early years. Around age 15, he began spending time with Sean Diddy Combs. In one clip, Bieber talked about getting a Lamborghini from Diddy, while Diddy made some comments that didn't sound too bad at the time.
Got me a Lamborghini. And
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Given the recent allegations against Diddy, the clip certainly hasn't aged well. Another video shows Diddy telling the press he took Justin for 48 hours and wouldn't give him back. The nature of that mentorship was never explained. Years later, Justin described a desire to protect Billie Eilish from what he went through as a child star.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
In interviews, he showed discomfort when asked about power dynamics in the music industry. He now keeps a distance from certain figures, including Diddy. After the recent federal raids into Diddy's properties, Bieber removed old posts and cut visible connections. No statement was issued. No interviews followed. His current team avoids questions about that era. Then there's Scooter Braun. Braun signed Bieber in 2008 and managed him through every phase of his public life. Braun coordinated tours, publicity collaborations, and brand deals. Bieber appeared in campaigns for Calvin Klein and Proactive while breaking streaming records on every platform. Braun was at the center of every deal. Bieber's fashion label, Drew House, launched under Braun's management, with Bieber's longtime friend Ryan Good acting as co-founder. As Braun's portfolio grew, he sold his companies to Hybe, taking several artists, including Bieber, with him. Bieber then entered legal disputes over contracts he didn't fully control. Drew House's internal power shifted to a board Braun supported. When Bieber pushed for changes, the board pushed back. Braun did not side with Bieber. The business rift turned personal, and Bieber left SB Projects in 2023. He unfollowed Braun on Instagram. Their professional relationship ended with no joint statement, no exit interview, and no public closure. And then, in April 2025, Bieber released this video. It was made by 3D artist Gal Yosef and was the official launch of his new brand, Skylark. Bieber financed and creative directed the project himself. The video is basically a digital rendering of his new life and the destruction of his old one. The scooter is a not-so-subtle reference to Scooter Braun. Inside the house are pieces of Drew House, the brand Bieber co-founded in 2019 with Ryan Good. They filled it with smiley faces, yellow beanies, corduroy jackets. Those symbols were once personal. Drew is Bieber's middle name. Ryan was the best man at his wedding. The house, or Drew House, burns down. His wife and newborn wait for him and then walk away without looking back. By the time this video dropped, he had cut off communication with him entirely. He had also distanced himself from Scooter Braun and David Baldoni, both board members of Drew House, both now gone from his inner circle. Bieber wiped Drew from his image. On Instagram, he posted a story urging fans to stop buying it. He said it didn't represent him, his family, or his life. Drew's official account tried to push back, but Bieber's fans flooded the comments and declared it dead. A source close to the company said Bieber left without warning and ghosted everyone involved. The post was deleted within hours, but the message was clear. Drew was over. Skylark was next. And while the Drew House video made everything public, the deeper shift had already happened. This is where a guy named Judah Smith enters the picture. Judah Smith is the lead pastor of Church Home, a non-denominational Christian church based in Seattle with an outpost in Beverly Hills. His sermons stream weekly online and reach tens of thousands. He grew up in the church. His father, Wendell Smith, was a prominent Pentecostal preacher who helped build the city church, which later rebranded as Church Home under Judah's leadership. Smith gained traction among celebrities in the early 2010s by offering a message that blended faith, therapy, and influence. He met Bieber through mutual friends, and by 2013, they were attending events together. Over time, their bond deepened. Bieber began showing up in Judah's sermons and eventually brought Smith into his business world. By 2023, Smith held a seat on the board of at least one Bieber-affiliated company. He was credited in planning meetings and seen leaving closed-door sessions. A source close to the Drew House situation said decisions once made by creative directors or managers were now being filtered through Smith. Ryan Good, who again has been his best friend since 2009 and was Justin's best man at his wedding, stepped away from Church Home that same year. Sources close to the brand said he believed Judah had too much control over Bieber's thinking. He described it privately as cult-like. Bieber never addressed the falling out publicly. The two haven't spoken since.
Justin really does seem to be, in that world of Judah Smith and the church.
Closing ranks.
And people are saying he has isolated himself from most of the people who were part of his world.
Right, and if you're one of those people, it's hard, I would think, to not notice the coincidence, or maybe it's more than coincidence, that they are being cast out as Justin's getting closer to Judah.
That's right.
Church Home's influence reached beyond faith. Smith's wife, Chelsea, joined calls with Bieber's personal team. The couple's names appeared in filings for Bieber-related business ventures. Smith incorporated a production company called Pitiful Palace in 2024, which insiders say aims to develop faith-based entertainment with Bieber's support. Some sources raised concerns. In an article published by The Hollywood Reporter, one source called Smith a narcissistic pastor with unchecked access to a vulnerable artist. That quote came from a former member of Bieber's management team and was later echoed in internal group chats by Drew House staff. Smith declined to comment on the record. Church Home has never publicly responded. In the middle of all this, Bieber made one of the biggest financial moves of his career. In January 2023, he sold the rights to his entire music catalog for around $200 million. The deal was brokered by Scooter Braun, Lou Taylor, and attorney Michael Rhodes. It gave him a massive lump sum and ended his direct financial stake in the songs that built his career. There's no official link between that payout and his relationship with Church Home, but the timing raised eyebrows. Within months, Drew House collapsed, Scooter was gone, and Judah Smith had stepped into a central role. Smith was now attending planning meetings, weighing in on company decisions, and appearing on legal filings. Taylor, who had ties to both Bieber's finances and the Church Home ecosystem, quietly exited the scene around the same time Smith formed that faith-based production company, Pitiful Palace, I mentioned earlier. Bieber's inner circle shifted. People with business resumes were replaced by people with shared beliefs. Former staffers said meetings started with prayer and ended with action items. Some now speculate that the catalog sale wasn't just about liquidity, it might have been about control, ending old obligations and creating room for a new structure that aligned with his spiritual life. 4 months earlier, Bieber had canceled the remaining dates of his Justice World Tour. The move triggered repayment clauses from his promoter, AEG, which had advanced him $40 million. Sources close to the tour say Scooter Braun stepped in and personally covered what Bieber owed, an amount insiders estimated at over $20 million. The money was offered as a loan, and according to multiple sources, it hasn't been paid back yet. Bieber owns 6 properties across California, Idaho, and La Quinta. Multiple homes are undergoing renovations. Private flights, vacations, and recurring donations to Church Home continue. A former business manager described his monthly burn rate as unsustainable. Bieber's reps have denied he is in financial distress, though. Justin Bieber no longer reports to a manager. The structure around him is now handled by a tight group operating under the name The Office of Mr. Justin Bieber. The lead contact is Will Bracey, a former tour manager who became chief operating officer. Bracey works directly with Hailey Bieber and Judah Smith. He has declined to comment publicly. The team oversees brand deals, content approvals, scheduling, and long-term planning. They are not affiliated with a record label's management division. Universal still holds rights to distribute Bieber's music, but no album or tour cycle has been announced since Justice in 2021. Bieber has participated in informal jam sessions at home with producers and close collaborators. None of the material has been released. Bieber's Instagram feed began to shift in early 2024. He posted captions about feeling inauthentic, unsafe, and overwhelmed. One read, "I think I hate myself sometimes." Another said, "I'm drowning." He appeared gaunt in paparazzi photos. In one, he smoked alone outside a Beverly Hills restaurant. At the 2025 Super Bowl, he climbed barefoot onto a VIP suite couch and danced until security asked him to sit down. Then there was Coachella 2025, which I showed you at the top of this video. Bieber isn't the only celebrity who's turned to a church when everything else got loud. Organized religion's been fading for years now, and there are statistics and polls to back that up. But for artists, athletes, and influencers, faith has become a personal brand, a recovery narrative, or a survival strategy. Churches like Churchum operate across platforms, stream sermons, post reels, and partner with creators. Churchum even has its own app. Pastors lead sessions on anxiety, purpose, dating, and discipline. Messages are clipped, captioned, and shared like content drops. Membership is digital. Donations are recurring. Influence flows through group chats, private retreats, and curated dinners. Public declarations of faith appear in post-game interviews, acceptance speeches, and comment sections. Cross emojis trend during scandals. Baptisms are filmed in HD and edited like music videos. Pastors consult on brand direction, public statements, and emotional posture. Messaging is coordinated across Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Platforms amplify the language of grace, redemption, and calling. Artists fold scripture into merch lines and rollout campaigns. I'm not saying any of this is particularly good or bad, it's just the facts of what's happening. Modern Christianity has been rebranded with a hip new social media flair. Justin Bieber is one of those who's been drinking the Kool-Aid for better or worse. And Judah Smith is the one who's been serving it. And we simply don't know how Bieber's connections and donations to Churchum have influenced his current state of mind and the state of his career.
Everything we're doing here at Church Home, every camera, every light, every word we write, every word we speak, pastor chat, guided prayers, to be completely candid with you, all of this simply amounts to what I'm telling you right now. And ultimately, right, it comes down to, will you and I ever find home, if that makes sense?
Obviously, fame is a heavy burden to carry, and all celebrities need some kind of reprieve from it. Many turn to faith, and for good reason. For Justin Bieber, maybe there have been deep traumas tied to his early rise to fame. Maybe he's been surrounded by the wrong people. Maybe he just went too deep into the celebrity zeitgeist. Maybe it's been a combination of all of that. What do you think? Will Justin Bieber top the charts again? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.